In 1989, there was a chase card. For me, it was the 1989 Donruss card number 33 King Griffey Jr. rookie card, the Kid. I couldn't afford the upper deck packs. The Donruss were selling for about 50 cents a pack, and I could pick them up at just about any gas station, convenience store, even grocery stores. The 12-year-old mullet-wearing, high-top-wearing me could afford the 50 cents. I was buying them left and right, and I knew what I was chasing. That was that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. It was supposed to be huge. Well, even though he was a prospect that panned out, it didn't really have the return I was hoping. It never paid for my college or bought me a car or even paid for like a medium rare steak. So recently I've seen an uptrend of people posting this Donruss Griffey on social media platforms because of the increased value. Well, no, the card hasn't done well over time. In fact, they are selling for south of $2 sometimes on eBay, a very, very disappointing number. Due to the overproduction of this card, the card is cheap as ever. On the other hand, Griffey's in a PSA 10, whether it's Upper Deck or Donruss, have seen an uptick in selling prices lately. That might be the reason why we're seeing this talked about on social media lately. But wait, there's more. There's actually several variations of this Donruss card that you may or may not be aware of. You may want to see what you got to see if you have any huge values. Maybe you're going to hit it big. Well, maybe not. But whatever the case may be, buckle up, grab your popcorn, and join me as we talk about some the secrets that Donruss holds for this card. And guys, if you haven't already heard of Grunt Talks, I know I talk about him sometimes. He has a YouTube channel, Grunt Baseball, for all things baseball, quick clips, quick breakdowns. Also his website, grunttalksmlb.com. He's veteran friendly and he sponsors this channel. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. We got a lot of cool more stuff on the way. So hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get back into this. So you may have seen many posts in card groups where people will post a Donruss Junk Wax card with an extra asterisk after denotes, or maybe a missing period after INC. It's kind of nauseating. It gets old. If you know anything about these cards, you know that does not increase the value because of how horribly overproduced these cards were. So eBay listings seem to be driving this hype around these Junk Wax Donruss cards. They'll put them for astronomical numbers. They'll put like error or multiple error in the description. And it kind of gets people excited. Maybe they think that their cards are worth a lot of money, and they usually go to social media, and sometimes they get roasted. We kind of give them a hard time sometimes. So if you're new to this kind of issue, ignore what you see on eBay. Asking prices are not the same as value. Okay, so if you're going to chase the master set of 89 Donruss, which I don't know why you would, you need to know about these variations and the breakdown of them. Let's get started on those. So for Griffey's card number 33 in the 89 Donruss set, there's a few things going on. The word denotes on the back of the card could have either 1 or 2 asterisks. I'll show you some pictures of that. It could have a period after INC or not. Again, neither considered an error. So there's another issue going on. So under the stat box between the narrative, there could be a gap there. I'll show you a side by side because once you see it, you'll be able to recognize that there's a gap on some of them. It might be slightly more rare, but trust me, it is not adding any value to the card, so don't get excited. So here we go. So first, it can have 2 asterisks in a period. It could have 1 asterisk in a period. It can have 2 asterisks and no period, and it can have 1 asterisk and no period. So 4 so far. Well, there's more. So the gap cards that we just talked about either have 1 asterisk and no period, or 2 asterisks and a period. So it's interesting to note that for the gap cards, I couldn't find a single 1 asterisk with a period or 2 asterisks and no period. I'm not going to go on record to say that they don't exist, but it doesn't seem like they do. So you ask, why did Donruss print all these variations? Well, I don't actually know, but some people will speculate that they printed in 2 different locations, or likely they just tweaked the layout of the cards mid-print run just for the heck of it. That's a total of 6 variations. And since these 6 variations affect nearly every card in the set, you are looking at nearly 4,000 cards in a master set. Yikes! Don't chase it. Your wife will leave you, your friends will never talk to you again, you'll be sleeping on a park bench. It's not worth it for a complete set that sells for about $10 as an original complete set price. So before I close, I want to mention the place of birth error. Griffey was born on November 21st in 1969 in Donruss, Pennsylvania. His base card 33 says Charleroi, Pennsylvania. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not sure why the error, but the two cities are pretty close together on the map. This is a strange error because the Rookies card of his is also wrong, but his Donruss Baseball's Best card shows Donruss as a place of birth. And they were all released in 1989 by Donruss, so I'm not sure why Donruss couldn't get it right. But none of these issues were corrected. So once again, it adds no extra value. No extra value. So you'll see that place of birth in a description on eBay. Once again, don't fall for it. The card number 33 regularly sells for south of $5. So sorry, you won't be able to buy that steak. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. A fun one. Ken Griffey Jr. is one of my favorite players, childhood heroes, the kid. Thanks for tuning in. We got more cool stuff on the way, and we'll see you next time.